Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sills.
Hello and welcome to this latest episode of the Gull'S I View. I'm joined by Chris.
Oh, it's me. That's me first. You did
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
didn't you?
you're top this week.
Yeah, evening, lads. What a terrific 24 hours it's been.
We're joined by Tom.
Good evening, lads. I love my football club.
We just, as you two were just saying on there, if we had done this on Monday compared to now, it'd be totally different, wouldn't it? Right.
Playoffs are on. Playoffs are on. Watch out. We're going to do it.
Oh, hang on. No, they're not.
It's all going a bit wrong. I think it's fair to say before we go into it that a lot of us Torquay fans right now, especially with today's, and I knew that news was coming. I just saw the 10 points. We all knew it was coming, but I think with last night's result and the fact it all seems to be a little bit quiet, and those things take time. Something doesn't feel right. Well, there's something about the team when I saw them play last night and the club. Something just felt a bit, it's all that kind of optimism we had and that kind of euphoria of it all, maybe possibly getting away from all this mess long term, kind of seems to be fading. It's just gone into quite a lot of worry. I went from being really worried to, oh, this is going to be right, and now I feel really worried again with everything that's happening. I mean, where do we start? Let's just start on the news today. Actually, let's work backwards once that obviously we've lost the 10 points. It was going to happen. Now, if the football club was run properly, if Gary Johnson had built a different style team, and they'd done better, we could have just been in mid-table now, and that'd be fine. Right now, we are now in a relegation battle, something that Torquay United love to be attracted to, of course. Mid-table, no. Let's have 10 points off.
Mid-table's boring. Leave that for the Hemmels of this world and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's challenge ourselves. But we're now relegation scrap, and we are probably one of the worst formed teams in the league, despite the win on Saturday, which actually could have gone one or two ways. I kind of feel actually like the Saturday's game and Tuesday's game were quite similar, just the fact Taunton finished off those early chances and Dartford didn't. I mean, not to discredit Taunton at all, not to discredit our second half performance on Saturday, but this has been coming. I mean, we can just do it in general. I mean, I'll let you two weigh in, but I'll say it now before I forget. I never want to see a 3-5-2 formation again in my life at Playmore. I've been saying that. How long have we been saying this? Honestly,
2 years.
2 years. What does it achieve? Why? Right. Why are we trying to? I like passing football. Actually, I do like it. Pass and move, zipping it, perfect. It became very apparent that we didn't have the ability. Then the pitch on this time of year where the pitch is so damp, is that the wise thing to do? The big weakness in our team is of the defence and the amount of chances we concede and the quality of chances. So to play the whole game through your defenders and kind of them lose confidence. And you know what? I was so angry about the amount of times players like Tomlinson lost the ball. But if you actually watch the highlights back, no one wants the ball. Everyone's so static. And it was the same way against Dartford. Everyone's so static and don't want the ball. And that is a big problem. And then that's the whole point of a 3-5-2. So we just need a flat back four. Left back and right back are full backs. I don't. If Moxie's probably going to have to go left back because I'm more where's Martin at the moment. I don't want him going over halfway. I want a back four flat, just there. They can link a few passes. That means we can make easy triangles between central midfield, whether we play a 4-3-3 with three central midfielders, 4-2-1, 4-2-3-1, or 4-4-2. It just needs just a flat back four, back to basics. So there's a bit of basic shape there. Because, oh my God, every goal, every highlight. And then Dartford had so many chances against us. Halstead had a good game at the weekend. For me, less than a lot of soft goals yesterday. You can't rely on your keeper all the time. And we never look like a unit. I mean, all three of those goals are absolutely disgraceful. And as much as hard it is with all the uncertainty, these lads need to step up. And they need to step up fast. Like your professional footballers. We all know how difficult it is right now, but Taunton haven't been paid. Is that correct? Taunton are a part-time team, and
as far as we're aware, they haven't been paid. They probably went to work that morning while we were on the training pitch preparing.
And Taunton was sharper, were more organised, just wanted every second ball more.
I think the difference, 20 from Saturday, and the beauty of where I sit now in Bristow's bench gives you that bit of height, that bit of elevation to kind of watch the game. I think the massive difference was the way what Taunton did well was they closed the spaces. What Dartford didn't do, which is what enabled McGavin, in the piece I wrote earlier in the week about what McGavin could do, is pick up the ball or almost kind of go wherever he wanted with it, drive through the midfield, find someone either side. I mean, there was so much space, and Tomlinson could pick up, take the ball off Halstead, play the ball forward, get McGavin in the game, bring Dawson into the game. There was a lot of space. Taunton just closed those spaces in that top third really effectively. And me and my dad were saying early on, well, they can't do this the whole game. They'll be shattered after an hour. And credit to them, they kept working hard to the point where we were just kind of bombing balls forward in the last kind of 20 minutes, weren't we? But the big difference was Dartford just gave us space to play. And when there's space to play, and it's happened all season, when we've had space, we've been able to get on the ball. Gavin gets on the ball, finds Dobbs and gets balls, and then we get balls in the box. But that just didn't happen last night. And I mean, Taunton, credit to Taunton, they were the better side. You can't argue that we didn't deserve to lose the game. There were some frustrations around how they went about it at times. I think they probably should have had man sent off in the second half for a pretty agricultural smack in the face for laps when the guy had already been booked. But their side issues, I thought Jarvis got no protection from the referee, which also didn't help because they were just ragging him around and doing whatever they wanted, and it didn't make a difference.
But at times also, if he's looking for it all the time, then you don't get it. And we said this so many times, you've got to be smart. If you're looking for it, you're not going to get the ones that actually are. I got really frustrated actually with Jarvis. And I do actually believe the ref probably was one of the strongest refereeing performance I've seen at this, because this was on it and it was pretty similar. Like this, I think we were just absolutely shocking in every degree, and we were lucky to lose 3-0.
Yeah, and the referee didn't have an impact on the game, but I think the problem is a lot of them knowing what they're going to see.
Yeah.
They know about
you're right.
Torquay, we're not going to give Torquay anything. I mean, Jarvis was getting ragged around from the first.
He was at the end, yeah. Some of them would get ridiculous.
At least the shirt manufacturers, the material's strong because it was still in one piece at the end.
Yeah.
It was just a load of frustrations really, because I think those who've watched Torquay long enough, it's just another frustrating, heartbreaking nail in the coffin of watching a game like that against a side. And with all due respect, we're a full-time club. We shouldn't be playing like that and getting beaten so badly by a part-time.
But also, while we just peppering aimless balls up to Jarvis, what's the point? He's just going to lose. He's just play it in the midfield, play 3 in mid-central midfield, or just use triangles, or just do something. I know the squad's limited in terms of depth, but why are we playing into opposition hands? Like McGavin, as soon as he gets pressed, he can't find a way to impact the game, and then he gets frustrated. Everyone just gets frustrated, and it's just not on. Like one thing is, the players just not quite been on it. Another thing, we're just setting them up fading. You know what? Like we all got the same sort of feelings around Downs. We're behind him with that kind of thing. And I do rate his as post-match. He said that's on me. We tried it, and if I'm honest, I prefer a manager to go and try something that completely fail if you then learn from it on the next one. Now, the biggest problem for me in this 3-5-2 is Tomlinson in the middle centre back.
Yeah, he's not strong enough. He's not strong enough.
Up on the ball. That's why you want to play. Fine, but you've got to have people that can do it. They're good enough to do it, and he's not.
Booth got a lot of criticism last night. I actually think on Saturday, Booth really, really showed that he could be a really good player. I thought Booth was probably one of the man. If it wasn't for how good we are going forward at times, the man of the match.
Do you reckon they got in their head a bit because they were giving the fans were abusing him for minutes?
Yeah,
I think he just got in his head.
Maybe. But you got to rise above it.
You got to rise above it. As a human, I understand it, but he's got to rise above it.
You got to be professional. You're going to get flack, and just prove to them what they're missing. And unfortunately, again, how many times have we said it this season? We just look like a bunch of strangers out there. Yeah. I mean, being back at Playmore on Saturday for the first time since the Oval game. I mean, I haven't been down there for a long time. The mood on Saturday was so much, better than when I was last down there. The club, it felt like we had our club back again, and everything was on the up. Yes, the things that have transpired since, but again, it was just that general camaraderie of we're going to get behind the lads and we're going to do it. And then just to see that performance last night,
it really hurt. It really hurt as fans.
Painful, absolutely painful. Thing is, if at 2-0, if you get the next goal, then you've got a chance. But what Tottenham did was they got that third early on, and that killed the game.
Did African have a save? Like, honestly, did he have a proper save to make?
No, not really.
Jude Boyd cut in the first half, didn't he hit that shot that I could have saved?
Yeah.
On that, no. I mean, the Euphoria Chimpong should have scored in the second half when you're piling in. I mean, the problem was he went with his right foot. If he'd gone with his left, any touch and it would have been in the goal because he was in behind Lavacan. But he didn't make a save, and this is the thing. But then again, we've talked about this before with Halford, haven't we? His goal saving, ratio to goals conceded. I mean, he made one save that stunned kind of push out in the first half. The only save he made, and we conceded 3 goals. He doesn't.
And I think those 3 goals would be disappointed with.
I think I don't know enough about goalkeeping to know, but it feels like both the goal on Saturday and the goal last night, the first goal last night, they go under him.
Yeah, it's never a
Does
good
he go
sign,
down
is it?
Does he slide out in the air? I don't know. The second one, having watched it again, the second one's hard because
I would blame the defence more.
Yeah, but if he'd come fly up, there's a part of me, because what Lavercombe was doing in the second half was coming out and wiping everyone out.
That's what I want my keeper to do, honestly. But
that said, it wasn't in the 6 yard, it wasn't on top of him. So you would have had to and if he'd come flying out, missed the punch, and someone had it in front of him, everyone would have had a go. The third goal, and again, I haven't seen it back, but the third goal felt to me at the time, and I could be wrong because he did hit it well. It felt like he just waved it in.
Yeah, I think he should have got a touch to that at least.
Yeah, and it was powerful and it swerved so much, but it's in the middle of the goal. And when we talk about professional goalkeepers, it's not talking about me and like a Sunday League team. It's like
but
that's been the story of his career, really, hasn't it? Mark Alstead, he'll have 1 or 2 really good games, and then he kind of reverts back to type. And that was the one thing that I agree with Aaron Downs last night. He said that the players kind of just reverse back to default, and it honestly was like watching a Gary Johnson side last night. And I guess to an extent it still is. The other thing, of course, now is with the 10-point deduction confirmed, is we're now also under a transfer embargo. So, what we've got has got to be enough to get us out of it.
It still should be enough to get us out. I know
you'd like to think so.
Martin
Ling had a great quote from years and years ago. He said the answers are in the building. For us, they have to be. They have to be in the building now. We've got no choice now.
Enough.
You would think so at this level.
They might need a bit of psychology though, honestly. I just feel like they need real emotional, smart psychology within there.
Tom and I were saying before we went on air, my concern, and I totally agree, I mean, we should have enough in this squad. I said to my dad last night coming home that team's better than that. Those players on that pitch are better than that performance.
They've let themselves down.
But the only thing that's worrying me now, given that we know where we are now, and I'm relatively relaxed about this points deduction today, in that we knew it was coming, no surprises. So I've been looking at the league table -10 ever since, really. In the last 3 weeks. But my worry is we've got 9 games left, 6 are away, so 2/3 of our games left are away from home, and our away form has been pretty terrible all season.
Back 4, built from basics.
But we're going to have to find a way to win some games. I think probably 3 wins, maybe 4 would be enough. But we're going to have to go to all of these games. I've got fixtures in front of me. We got away games at Tonbridge, Yeovil, Welling,
Handsome winner,
Bath, Taunton. Just got games there you can win. Then you've got 2 of the home games. Hampton will be a difficult game, but we should be beating Weston, and we should be beating Havant at home. Should be. So the games that we've got coming up, but the reality is our away form, we're going to have to pull ourselves together. Because we're going to have to. When have we gone to somewhere like Tunbridge, around us, middle of the table, or towards the playoffs, and we've got beaten this season pretty much every game? So we're going to have to go to one of these games, turn up, play well, and get a win. It's going to have to happen.
Yeah. We're going to have to be a unit now. And the fans will be behind them everywhere. So, but you've got to turn up, flat back 4, get a proper defensive unit in. Don't play. Our weaknesses at the moment is defending. So get them into a nice little unit. It's a bit difficult to know who's going where. It depends on fitness right now. Get into a good, strong unit and build from there. And then play a bit of a deep line if needed, and then play a bit of counter-attack at these teams. Just get the ball, use the midfielders to transition, not your defence. Get the ball into midfield or Jarvis more, play to his strengths on the deck more. And then get some crosses in the box, honestly, and just make sure we're being inventive with the crosses.
Go back to basics.
It's been dreadful.
Absolutely dreadful.
Get the basics right. Get the defence as a unit, and then work on those crosses and getting it into the box and getting our corners. Every corner was a disgrace last night.
Time and again, didn't fit the first man. Springtime.
Even at Dartford in the weekend, it was poor.
If you've got a set piece is such a big part of football, we've got to get it right. We lost every long throw header last night.
Yeah, I think I look back on today and just think, in a way, I'm kind of relieved that it's now been made official, because there were comments made on Saturday by Dom in the post-match interview saying, "Oh, results went our way." Looking upwards, and I'm just kind of sat there listening, going, "Well, hang on a minute. Actually, if you think about it, results didn't go our way because if we've got 10 points being deducted,
to worry about.
but playoffs are the last thing from our minds now. And I hope it is a mentality focus for the lad. And I hope there's a sense of realism now that it's happened, it's official.
I would prefer them to get out of their system last night and then just be like, right, shit. Maybe they were told before the game last night.
I reckon something's happened. There's got to be. I can't justify how you would be, go from that 10-minute spell in the second half where Dartford completely collapsed after the penalty. That was like incredible how quickly they capitulated. But it just goes to show you just, use your talent, just score goals, keep clean sheets. I mean,
quite an easy game.
So frustrated seeing us concede against Dartford. Yeah. It was such a soft goal. And even then it could have been 3-2 with a dodgy offside, and all of a sudden you're back against the wall again. It's just
they scored on Saturday where you thought, here we go, they get another one here, we're in trouble.
I was expecting that. I was shocked that Dartford didn't.
But we should have been chomping at the bit. Dwayne Afori-Acheampong scoring his first goal, and then he couldn't score from a yard out, on Tuesday night. And there was just too many players that, quite frankly, if whatever happens to us and, what league we're in next season, if we are a club next season, but this whole squad needs a complete refresh. And I'm really struggling to think of players who I would want to keep from this season.
They've got to prove to us now because at the end of the day, but it should have been changed as well. Like as soon as the first few passes were going straight to tournament finish, we're like, no. Let's use a bit of emotion, a bit of intelligence, tactical intelligence for this game. Let's come back to this game plan a bit later, because as soon as you're putting your defenders under pressure because they're basically gifting chances, and then you're chasing the game, when McGavin will get the ball in midfield, if it's 0-0, he's starting to get into the game a bit. If it's 2-0 down, we think, great, we need to get the ball forward. And then, all the pressure's coming in their minds, they're going, we've been losers basically for 2 years straight now. We've lost games. It all comes back. It's very fragile. And don't play into the hands of that. Just keep things solid. Be bad for half an hour, but keep it 0-0 and then grow into the game. You
expect teams to come at you for the first half hour, and then you should let your full-time fitness show at the end. Yeah. That's what we did so brilliantly, first time in the National League South.
Yeah.
But again, you look at the players we had back then compared to now, and it just further shows the decline of this football club.
I thought it was interesting as well, having watched the game last night. I watched the post-match interview Mark Cooper gave after they were beaten again at home last night. And he was saying, he had a bit of a pop at the fans actually, and said, actually, it's all well and good people having a go and a moan because we're still trying to play football and we're not just lumping it forward. If you want us to lump it forward, it's just going to come back out. So it's even in that scenario, I mean, in their position where they're still comfortably top of the league, still comfortably going to win the league. But when you panic, that revert to type comment that Aaron made, I think was a good one, because they just started, they obviously started going long when it's almost like a default panic. Go, Craig, get the ball forward, quick, we've got to score.
And I thought we played really well, like the passes we made against, especially against Dartford on Saturday, the triangle passes. At least we were, trying to not lump it forward all the time. So I don't understand why it's all changed back on Tuesday night. The three at the back is just a shambles. There's just no protection.
If you can't do the passing, just get it in the right areas. Go right. I'm going to hit the ball in this area more, and I want 3 players getting there every time. I haven't seen a Torquay team win a bloody second ball all season. I'm sick of it, honestly. If you're going to start putting it in right areas and they win the initial header, win a second. That's how you progress up the pitch without them to pass through them. If you start putting it towards the corners and then you back them up there and it comes back, they have to clear it. Then the defence and midfield step up, they get the ball and we can keep that pressure. Yeah. If you're just going, is the ball and it comes back and we don't chase the blow thing, we're the ones under the pressure.
Yeah. I wonder how many clean sheets we've kept this season. For a full-time football club at this level, it's embarrassing that we'll probably count it on 2 hands, to be honest, how many clean sheets we've kept. And that's the problem. That's the problem, because if you're going to gift teams goals, you're just making it harder on yourself to win football matches. Simple as that. You start from the back, build your fundamentals from the back. It's do or die time now. We've got 9 games to save, not only save the season, but save the football club, because relegation to the Southern League is, unthinkable. And it's, oh man alive.
The thing, looking at those fixtures as well, of course, thinking about the league table as it is for us now, you look at those three look at the games in April: Welling away, Truro away, Taunton away. They're all below us right now. I think I'm right in saying. So
big games.
those 3 away. Well, we're going to have to turn up. I mean, win those 3 games. That's probably going to be enough, isn't it? But can you?
I think so.
Yeah, but
I think,
and we got winnable games, but they got to do it, haven't they?
yeah. I think if you win 3 of those, and the 3 of the last 9, I think that will just be enough.
Yeah, but again, we go back to what we said before. Who can you see us going to Tunbridge and winning? Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel confident about that?
I mean, that's the way they're going to have to do it.
Yeah, but there's no evidence. Why would anyone be confident of that?
No, not right now.
Effectively, I'm guilty of at times because I'm a naturally optimistic person in this sense. But where is the evidence to suggest that we're going to go there and win? I don't think there isn't. We might, but there's no evidence to suggest we will.
You just live in hope, don't you? It's the Talk United way. You just live in hope for things to change, and it very rarely does.
This is big for Aaron Downs and Asa Hall.
Yeah, the first big hiccup in Aaron Downs' managerial.
But I thought, again, I say let's be honest, like things will go wrong in football, but now everything's just it's a worry because we're so used to this now. It's just times 10, and with all what's been off the pitch, it was just the nature of it. It wasn't like we had a bit of an off night. We lost 2-1. We missed about 5 sitters. Come on, lads, back to it. We weren't even close to anything on the pitch. Every ball we headed went wrong. And I finished the point I was making earlier. Tomlinson, like if you're going to really play 3-5-2, I understand that Booth's all right going forward on the right hand side, but Booth wins a lot more. And it's just Tomlinson was losing everything. And actually, Tomlinson can put in some good tackles, but it ruins his confidence when you put him in the centre. You're setting your lads up for failure, honestly. Like, he just needs confidence back in that lad if you're having to play him. And also, I'll play Marshall right now. I'll play Marshall. You need a fighter. Sometimes he's the wrong kind of fighter.
He needs that guy Branston figure alongside him, doesn't he, to toughen him up a bit, Tomlinson. That's what he needs.
Honestly, if you have to do the 3-5-2, you're going to have to stick Marshall in that middle. Just give Tomlinson a couple games out, just read the game a little bit, get your confidence back, get it back in training. A bit of protection for the young lad, But at the same time, he's a professional and he's got to step up at this point.
The thing I never understand, and of course I don't know, is when you're in the position that Downs is, or I guess when any manager goes into any football club, do you build your team around your principles and your structures and your beliefs as to how you're going to play and how you want your team to play? Or do you set your team up with what you've got?
Which is
huge in that case, because actually I don't believe that Downs isn't doing what he wants to do with his setup. I think this is the way he wants to play.
Yeah.
Because actually, that team we selected last night, you could rejig and make it into a 4-4-2 if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You've got an Archer who's out of the picture. We've got Collins, God forbid, who could play on the wing or maybe get some balls. And
don't get me started on Collins.
No, that's the thing again.
You think Jude Boyd right back, and I really want him going forward. I really like him going forward. Think him right back, and you've got Stubbs right wing. So between them, you could actually help each other. And then, keep the ball, maybe focus a bit more down the right, and then coming at the back post, you could just get some crosses in, and that could actually be a solid foundation. And then you put Lapsley or whoever to just triangles, just get back to basics, build your confidence.
But it's been a problem. If you lose the ball, back, you can't play 4-4-2 with Moxie at left back. You can't. You'll need putting down by the end of the game. You can't do that. No. So who are you going to play at left back? And Jude Boyd's not. Let's face it. With this system we're playing now, we're playing a right-footed wing back at left back and a midfielder wing back on the right. Yeah. So it's not exactly kind of it's all a bit square, square peg round hole.
It's an old-fashioned winger. He should not be playing wing back.
No,
because when he starts,
it's been like that it's been like that for like 2 years.
Yeah, when he gets bogged down in having to defend, I feel like his attacking game's not as good. When he's just there to focus on a bit of tracking back and a bit of mainly just crossing, I feel like Sobs is a better player.
Yeah, and we're going to have to look at how we're going to play because, of course, we're going to miss McGavin now, aren't we? So we're going to have to look at whether that's 1 or 2 games. Who knows with the rules? Because I thought Marshall would have been 2 games, but a frustrating yellow card at the end because I think he was right. But there we are. We can't speak to referees any nowadays. So that'll be that won't be Saturday, will it? That'll be the Hampton game, won't it? That he misses at home as a minimum. So we're going to have to find a way of playing. We're going to have to get up some more ball in midfield. So that Jenkins Davis comes in there to kind of try and get a bit of a creativity in there.
Yeah. So play him off Jarvis something. Because I thought honestly I want to see a 4-4-1-1 or something. Just play a number 10 off Jarvis, even if you have to stick Ash out on the wing as an inside forward on the left. You know, but like just I want to see someone playing like Lemon Evans and Wright. And I want to see someone. We try and at least emulate that kind of play with Jenkins, Davies, and Jarvis. Let's get a play. He is good on the ball. So
Problem is Jarvis tends to drop back into the midfield. I've noticed in recent games. There's some games I think
trying to get the ball, isn't he?
Trying to get the ball, yeah.
Yeah, I like Ash. I like his work rate. He's the sort of player I like. But last night he just doesn't get the game. Does he? Took his goal nicely at the weekend. Worked hard, runs himself ragged. But last night he didn't get the game, did he?
And that is failure on the rest of the team as well, and the setup. So, but what do we know? We run a YouTube channel. So you would hope that professionals with coaching badges can see that. So, and I know how difficult it is. We understand, but I just want to. The bare minimum I ask for to finish this episode is. I just want to see the team set up with a best fighting chance, and I just don't feel like we're seeing that at all right now. So I
think we've had 2 3 weeks since everything's happened, and it's been fight for your club, and the fans have turned out in great numbers, and we've done everything in our power, and then just to see such a limp, performance on Tuesday night, we just threw the white flag in early on, and there was just no fight in us, and we've got to, you've got to. Do it. You got to do it for your club. You got to do it for the supporters. I know, there's a very real possibility they might not get paid this month. All things up in the air. And I'm sure that
Taunton are further down than that, and that didn't hold them back.
Yeah, but I'm sure that plays on players' minds, and
because they are full time at the end of the day. Where Taunton, they are also part time. I suppose it's a little bit different in the sense, isn't it?
But surely then you want to put yourself in that shop window.
Do it for yourselves, not the club.
Do it for yourself more than anything else. And I'm sure that I'm sure we'll bounce back. I'm sure the performance will be on Saturday will be a lot better than it was on Tuesday night. But again, the lads have got to all from downs to the players. They've got to prove it. They've got to prove it on the pitch. And we've got 9 games to save this club. And we've got 9 games to save this season. 3-4 wins will probably be enough. But again, like Chris said, the majority of those away, just can't see where winning away is going to happen, and it's a tough place Saturday. 4G pitch at Tunbridge. They make a decent atmosphere, so it won't be an easy place to go.
Oh no!
Yeah, Ryan Hansen winner, 90th minute. And I also want to say, the more I see George Edwards at football games, the more I just fear about this club's future, because
what's he doing?
He doesn't need to be at football games. You're just as accountable, mate, as Gary Johnson and Clark Osborne in my mind. So you've carved your legacy, mate. The more he's there and the more things are still being run by him, I'm more fearful every day. But
we just want a complete reset now, don't we?
It needs a complete reset. But hey ho, still support our club, and hopefully we'll get 3 points on Saturday.
Draw, I think. I can't see how we're going to win away from a game like this.
I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to do the Chris 2-2.
What?
I'm going to go 2 on Tonbridge.
Oh.
I was thinking 2-1 Tonbridge, but no, 2-2.
Let's hope we see some smiling faces like that look on Saturday.
Oh, dear. Things we do for our club, eh?
Yeah. Anyway, so let's just hope it changes. And right, thank you for joining us. So everything's very week to week, can change a lot, can it? So yeah, right. We'll see you next week. Hopefully Dom will be back as well. So
it's his fault. He turned up on Tuesday. He wasn't there Saturday. Wasn't there Saturday and we won. Turns up on Tuesday and we've lost. So
there we go.
Now he's not on tonight. So
yeah. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. He stays onside. Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells.